Let's get right into this week's video, but first, if you missed my last video for my roasted shrimp and broccoli, child, you know what to do. Watch this one and then go back and check it out, because this week, I'm going to show you how to make. All right, maybe not me, but my son Dennis is going to show us how to make this delicious homemade mayonnaise. You're not going to want to miss this recipe, y'all. All right, here's the video. Hi guys, and welcome back to What Adrianne Thinks. It's me, Adrianne. Today, I make a homemade mayonnaise to go with it. Well, I'm not actually making it. I have a guest here. Not really my guest. My first baby boy, Dennis, is going to show us how to make this delicious homemade mayonnaise. You know, normally I'll be pointing you down, but we're going to be letting Denny do his thing. All right?
Meet you at the bowl.
Oh, wow. All right, Dennis, so set us off. What we got here?
All right, so to make the mayonnaise, you need a few simple ingredients that hopefully people have. I have a half a tablespoon of mustard right here. I have some roasted garlic and a little bit of the garlic oil. I have 3/4 cups of olive oil, 6 egg yolks cracked by my sous chef. This is half of a lemon and then a tablespoon of rice vinegar. This is the brand we're using, Macano, in there too, and just any lemon that you have. And then we have a tablespoon of sugar, and we have a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to start making it right this way. So, and we'll be using for this, move that over here. Here we go. We'll be using for this the immersion blender. Oh, Jesus. All right, so we'll be using this to be able to get it in there. And the reason why is because we may use a blender. It takes sometimes, it can take you up to 15 minutes to mix it. So it is an intensive process, but I'm telling you, it is worth it. Like once you start making your own mayonnaise, you won't want to do it any other way.
It's delicious.
So I'm going to start with a little bit, get these eggs in here a little bit, beaten up a little, and then we'll kind of move forward. Bear with me. All right, cool. That just got the eggs together. And to this, I'm going to immediately add this garlic because the garlic is an emulsifier, which means that it makes everything thicker. So I want that base to be as thick as possible. And that's about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. And while we're at it, I'm going to add a little bit of that sugar. Not a little bit, I made the full tablespoon of sugar.
And Dennis, let me ask you, so if you didn't have the roasted garlic, what else could we use to emulsify, or do you need it?
The garlic is extra. You know, you don't have to necessarily use the garlic. But the mustard also is an emulsifier from there too. And you can also use an additional egg, which is, I mean, it's going to make your dish richer, but the egg will also make the emulsifier. But the oil is emulsifier. This is a bunch of emulsifiers that gets into the creaminess that you'll see in a few.
All right.
All right. And just a tip for the immersion blender, for whatever, when you have, move it up and down so that you kind of get all those little pieces. All right, that's good. Now I'm going to add in a half a tablespoon of mustard. Mom, can you actually put that in for me, if you don't mind? Mm-hmm. Trying to make sure it doesn't get on the... Perfect, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Just get that in here. Okay, so that's the first part. Now we're going to start streaming in a little bit of oil. We will add the salt and we will add the vinegar and lemon, but intermittently between the oil intervals too, or whatever, because we want to add the salt, but we want to just make sure that it gets flown in at every part. So we'll put a little bit in now at the base, but we'll put the rest of that teaspoon in as time goes on.
Quick question about the vinegar. Can you use any type of vinegar, or is rice vinegar the best?
Rice vinegar is good. You can also, I wouldn't use like distilled vinegar, and I wouldn't use balsamic, but I would use like a sherry vinegar or champagne vinegar. You know, white wine is good vinegar from there too. All those are kind of good. Some of the ones that have an additional level of flavor, and the reason why is because you want the acidity, but you also want some brightness. And sometimes the distilled vinegar is a little bit too arid for this, but it's not impossible to use. A lot of people have been using distilled vinegar for years, so not a bad thing.
You want me to drizzle in?
Yep, drizzle in about half of it. Very slowly. Okay, so it's getting thicker. It's not there yet. We're just trying to put it in intervals because we don't want to add too much. Now we're going to put a little bit of that lemon juice and rice wine vinegar in there. Like we said, intervals. So I'm going to stop here and just let you see. If you can see those little air bubbles, it's probably a little difficult to see, but there's little air bubbles going in. That just means the air is getting inside of it. That's what you want. Want good air.
So right here, listen to that change in sound. That's exactly what we want to hear. That's telling you it's getting nice and thick.
So right now we're at the consistency of like salad dressing. So if you want to use this as like almost like a Caesar dressing, you might add your.
Yeah. Well, you've done that too.
Yeah, you might add a little anchovy in this at this point or something or whatever if you want it like a really thin. But we're getting thick with this or whatever. Mom, could you put a little bit more of that? Not all of it, just maybe another third of that vinegar and lemon mixture. All right. We're going to add a little more oil now. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more of that salt. We may not even use the full teaspoon. It all depends. Okay, a little bit more oil now. What we're trying to achieve with this is we want to make sure we're putting in oil in intervals because we don't want too much oil, just make it oil logged. We want everything to have a chance to come together. That's why I'll be putting all those emulsifiers in there, the mustard, the garlic, the oil, the egg, all of that are thickening agents or emulsifiers. And then we put the vinegar in there to thin it out so that it can move. Let's say that for the very end just to make sure we... Thank you. That's all our oil. We're just going to keep mixing. Mom, just put the rest of that that vinegar and lemon in there.
Can it go in slowly or just...
You could do a little drizzle. It's fine. Let's see our thickness starting to get right.
So this looks amazing. Now talk about easy storage and prep. Look at this. He's preparing this all inside of a cylinder container. And you can get these right from Amazon. We use them all the time.
Now, I don't know if you can see that, but it's getting so thick, but it's still not there yet, but we're getting there. It's like the consistency of like a really, really thick dressing, but we want to get it to like almost a paste, like like mayonnaise. And you know you're doing this good. You know you're on the right track when your shoulders are telling you to stop. Keep going. Keep going. All right, time for the last little bit of that lemon and rice wine vinegar. All right. Let's see if we have a little bit more salt left. Let's see if we need a little bit more. Go to the thing. That's where we're at now as far as consistency. Can go a little bit thicker, but we just want to test this out. What you think, Mom?
It's really good. It tastes like mayonnaise.
Need salt?
I think a little bit.
A little bit of salt to think the rest of this?
Just you taste too.
Okay. That's good. A little bit of salt will help because it's actually a little sweeter with it. But we'll put that rest of that little salt in there. I think that'll be good. That tastes actually really, really, really good. And pay attention to how I'm moving this up and down. Woof! Man, jeez. But it's getting there too, whatever. Now, you can stop here because if you put this in the refrigerator, if you have time, if you put this in the refrigerator for an hour, it'll set up just like you need it to or whatever. And it'll continue to set up the more you serve and save. But I want to try to get it up to a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go a little bit extra because it's for my mama's salad, okay? So I'm going to go for probably another minute longer. And then after that, we'll taste again. We'll taste again, and then we'll see if it needs anything else as far as flavoring, which I don't think it will. And then we'll put it in the refrigerator for a good half hour, and then she'll be able to incorporate it into the salad. Okay, We done worked this out, okay? So we're gonna give it one more taste. That looks great, great.
That looks really creamy.
Okay, and that's a clean spoon, just FYI.
Clean spoon.
What you think?
Perfect.
Oh, that's really good. Let's get an impartial opinion.
Morning. Hang is in the background, y'all. Hey.
Hey. Oh, never mind.
And I kinda
All
feel
right,
like
so you want a little bit of sugar? We can add sugar. We can even add honey too, because honey is an emulsifier. If you could do either one of the, what you call it? Gotta, let's get a pinch.
It was good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we're gonna add a little bit of sugar at my mother's request,
Just a pinch.
and that'll counteract the counteract all the vinegars and some of the sour or tartness or whatever from it. All right. Whew. I've made fresh mayonnaise and boy are my arms tired. It's good.
Really good.
Good stuff. All right. Let's come up and then we'll go and show our faces. All right. Be right back. Okay, everybody. So we're back. This is what our consistency looks like. It almost looks like a really good pound cake batter, right? It can even go thicker than this, to be quite honest, but I mean, it's just about your arm strength, and I also have a little meat to go to. So I'm going to run, but like, this is like the consistency. See how that's holding?
Look how that's holding.
Yeah, so it could go probably another 2 minutes longer for you to get that, but we're going to put this in the refrigerator and let it set up in the cold, because the cold will also do it some good as you're going through this. We're going to give one last taste, clean spoon.
Clean spoon. Thank
Okay.
you.
And tell me what that tastes like. Oop.
It's really good.
Is it? Okay, I'm gonna try a little bit on my finger. It's really good. It's literally the best mayonnaise that I think you can honestly have. Has a lot of flavor.
And can you rinse that off for me?
Has a lot of flavor and a lot of good bits and things inside of it too, or whatever.
And can you add herbs to this thing?
Sure could. You can add like some fresh herbs if you wanted to chop them in or whatever, or even maybe blend them in with a little bit of that vinegar and that lemon and kind of almost do like what you would do almost with chimichurri or whatever, and allow that to be like the way that that's emulsified inside of there. So it's like, you know, nice fine bits in there. You can add more garlic. You can use garlic oil instead of using the, what you call it. If you don't have Dijon like we use, mustard, you can use spicy brown, you can use yellow, you know, from there or whatever. Generally, I use Maldon sea salt. I've run out. So we used iodized table salt, which is good.
Which is what?
Well, iodized table salt is table salt that has additional iodine. We need at least a 1/4 teaspoon of it per day to be able to help our bodies.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
So that's our mayonnaise. It's literally the thick as a.
It is so thick.
Let me see if I can get it up.
Oh yeah.
See, yeah,
Wow.
very, very good. All right, and we did it here. And I mean, if you want to even take it a step further, if you feel like you want it to be even thicker, put it in your your Vitamix or your NutriBullet or your Ninja or whatever blender you use, and allow that to do the rest of the work too.
So when you see me make this again, it's going to be in the Vitamix because I'm not going to, you know.
You still got, and if you do it in the blender, you need to still stream the oil in. So even though you're using a blender, still stream it, still do the same process, just like you won't be using it with your hand. But I actually like it this way because I grew up having to cook for myself and having to do things from scratch.
Really?
So because of that, you know, I'm just used to it. But
No one believes this.
everybody is, younger folk are a little bit different. All right. So look at that. Look at that. We did good. We made mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, folks.
Thank you, Adrianne, for having me on the Thinks show. And I'm glad to be here once again in a new black shirt with my beautiful pin that I got from Etsy.
It's really cute.
Oh, good. All right, I'll see y'all. Thank you.
And just like that, this video is done. Guys, tune in next time to see how I put that mayonnaise to work in a salmon salad. But until then, hit that like button. Remember to watch, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.